So today we're making bass house out of Korean barbecue.
Have you ever wondered what music sounds like sizzling on a hot grill? No, neither have I. But I have wondered what happens if I take the sound of food sizzling on a hot grill and turn that into music. So I called my friend Miguel and we set out to turn our dinner into a musical masterpiece. Food and music are much more than just sustenance and entertainment. They're an expression of who we are and where we came from. So is it possible that our very existence, which is sustained by the energy of food, could also be expressed through music made by the sounds of that same sustenance? Are we then, in a sense, the song?
Yeah. And that's it. And the experience itself, is we are making music out of a Korean barbecue. And things like when we were recording, there was a lot of noise from everywhere, from kitchen, people talking, music. Yeah. It was a lot of noise. That's the challenge. How are you gonna be able to make the music when all of this environment is involved?
The song actually started with the intro. I had this bass line idea, wrote it down, and then with Miguel, I just gave him the microphone and said, let's just start coming up with some stuff. He came up with this line on my mind, and he repeated that a few times, and when I heard that, it just kind of stuck. We were trying to flesh out this idea a little bit more. And so I started writing something about time. It all just kind of flowed from there.
That's another percussion.
Yeah,
there.
Another real good percussion sound.
Yeah.
I usually try to recreate an emotion in the songs that I write.
Percussion sound.
Yes.
I remember finding this.
But for this one, I kind of just wanted to take the sounds and see how much I could just totally warp them into something different.
This sound, I love this sound. It was just this tiny little snippet of something was happening in the background, but how good does that sound? It's so good. Check this out. This is what the full thing sounds like.
What would they have done before? Like, were they eating raw meat?
Yeah. Oh, even your boys talking.
Were they eating raw meat?
Yeah! See? The raw meat got me. Play it again.
Were they eating raw meat?
Yes, keep it.
That can be just
keep it.
before
That
the
you
drop.
can keep it. You can keep it for sure.
Okay, ready? Check this out. It's so juicy.
Just because we are listening to this shit, I'm so hungry.
And I've also used this sound. It's
Oh.
just the sizzling. I like that little sound in the background. Yeah.
I think it's a piano key.
Anyway, from these sounds, this is some of the synthesizers that I created.
Whoa,
Yeah,
that sounds like a tiger.
We ended up with a really good collection of sounds to start with, and by this point we had all the vocals recorded, so Miguel was able to call it a night there, which meant it was time for me to start putting a song together. Food, water, and the many experiences we encounter every day. These things not only provide energy for our lives, but also create emotions and memories that form our identity. And what's crazy is that the process of expressing our creativity, both mentally and physically, is yet another conversion of energy within our bodies. Ultimately, our existence can be seen as a complex network of interconnected energies, sustained and shaped by the sources we use to express ourselves. So that's the sound of some meat sizzling, which I decided to use as a riser because why not? So this is a really cool Reese kind of bass that I made using Oberhausen. I don't even know if that's how you say it, but this is a synth from Brainworks that is full of vintage vibes. Other than that, we've got the vocals.
We flow beyond the stars.
I've pitched one layer up.
We flow beyond the stars.
And then those two together.
Low beyond the stars.
Oh yeah, and glitchy vocal stuff. So the other main part of this is the main melody. So this is another one of the sounds where I brought the sound of the meat sizzling into the synthesizer. Here's a quick example of how I'm actually creating these sounds. We take a tiny clip of sound, we can bring that into Serum. This is what it sounds like without any processing. And we can scroll through the wavetable, add some movement. We can add some filters, distortion, compressor, another filter. Certain notes will have these really nice resonances. And so that's it. Just twist knobs and press buttons until something sounds good. So I've called this sound Squirrel Eater. I'm not sure why. But yeah, we've got Squirrel Eater 7, Squirrel Eater 6, Squirrel Eater 3. So what I've essentially done is I've taken one sound and just slightly modified it to just build out the sound and fill it out more. I didn't want it to sound like there was multiple different instruments happening at once. It was all meant to sound like one big, like fat, juicy synth. All of these layers are using the sizzling sound from the sizzling of the meat. So it's basically just different parts of that sound. I had loads of clips, brought the wavetable into Serum, and then added filters, added effects. So these 3 layers, this is what they sound like. That's the main sound where all of the real character of this sound comes from. More going on in the high end. And that's filling in the low end. And then we've got this big fat lead that is basically meat sizzling on a hot plate. We've also got this synth. We've got some cool little glitchy stuff, parts of the stuff that we recorded. And that stuff really just kind of sits in the background, filling out the sound a little bit. Then we've got this, totally made with Korean barbecue sounds once again. So it sounds like this in the song. This offbeat little glitch, which I think is really cool. I created a tom. This is another one of the sounds from the Korean barbecue audio. The full clip is this. It's one of the sounds from when we were cooking something mixed with the atmosphere of what was going around, and I've actually stretched it out a lot, pitched it down, and then just used the very, very front of it and turned it into this tom. That really kind of plays around with the kick pattern. I'm going to change this now because I actually don't like it anymore. Yeah, I like it. Sounds good. Then we have the bass. So we put all that together and we've got ourselves a tasty little meaty song made out of Korean barbecue. Miguel hasn't actually heard this yet, so he's going to be coming over very soon and listening to this for the first time. If you guys want all of these presets and samples, you can get all of them on my Patreon. A link for that down in the description. Yeah, that's it. Cool. So we made music out of food. Fun.
This is the first time listening the song. With love beyond the stars, into the moment where we are now, chasing the darkness of time through life. On my mind, chasing life through time. On my mind, on my mind, on my mind, on my mind. Whoa, that's sick.
Right there, guys. Right there.